Thank you, everybody. That was it a good exercise? Yes. How did you feel about it being put in the spotlight? Was it okay? Anybody felt nervous, out of place? Yeah. Yeah. With experience, these people, they just got over their nervousness with experience. I tell you that it's very easy. Okay. So after knowing yourselves how confident you can be, now it's time to know whether your students can be that way or not. And like it or not, we've got to instill all that in the students. At the end of the day, you're teaching, is it pharmacy students? Pharmacy and nursing? Physio? Anything else? Radio? At the end of the day, you want them to be somebody, right? Out there. Okay? So you have to know your students. But before you tell them what to do, you got to show it to them. How to create the desire for knowledge and fun in class. Have a quick look.
My name is Ron Clark. I'm the co-founder of the Ron Clark Academy, but also teach here math, reading, and global studies. And I love it. It's my passion. It's in my blood. I know it's what I was meant to do. For the past 5 years at the Ron Clark Academy, we've had over 14,000 superintendents, principals, and educators from all over the country come here to the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta to watch us teach in our classrooms, to learn about our methods, and then take our techniques back to their schools. I have a lot of rules for my students, but also tips for educators, things they can do. One of the most important ones is to build bonds with your students. You want to listen to them, find out things they love, and try to incorporate that into your classroom. The second thing I teach teachers is that you set the tone. When you walk in your classroom, if you're bored, or if you don't want to be there, the kids won't want to be there either. You got to fire it up. Smile even though you don't want to. And the last most important rule I have for educators is to have high expectations. We have dumbed it down in this country. We are dumbing down to these kids. We're not expecting enough. Kids will rise to the occasion. It is not about teaching to the test. We don't do that here. Actually, it's kind of cool. We never mention integrate tests. It's a rule. Our staff can never mention it. We never tell the kids, you need to learn this, it might be on the test. We never talk about integrate tests. We have them, but we never mention it. When the kids come to take it, we tell them it's a celebration of all you've learned. What we do here is possible in public schools. This school was built by public school teachers. We were just public school teachers. I taught in New York City and North Carolina and was able to create the same type of environment in public schools. All you need is a group of people who love kids, who are dedicated, who have a passion, and who are given the freedom to do what it takes to help kids be successful.
My name is Ron Clark.
How many of you are willing to be like Ron Clark? Now he's a pioneer. When he first started, he was just a temporary teacher at one school, and he wasn't asked to do anything else. Just fill in, and then he was good to go. But he saw something at the school. He saw that the students were dead bored in class. Very teacher-centered. Yeah, facts. No fun, no laughter, no games. Yeah, he started his legacy, the Ron Clark Academy, and it has been there for ages. He mentioned something interesting: fun, laughter, music, excitement. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the theories of learning just now? Those are dead, boring theories. Now with social media, with internet and everything like that, we've got to make sure that the students are always engaged in all their senses. After this, we're going to look at visual, auditory, and kinesthetics learning styles. So, well, we don't expect you to ask our students to jump on the tables. If you can, try. How long is your lecture usually? 1 hour? So, can anybody share with us, what do you do when you start seeing students who are sleeping, who might be a little bit bored? Any tips that you can share with us? Anybody?
What I usually do is that I will have some quizzes based on some sort of brain teasers.
Teasers, brain teasers, yes. Questions, you mean?
Questions more towards graphical illustrations that
Related to the topic?
not related to the topic, exactly out of the topic. If you go ahead to the topic, maybe you will be most.
Yes.
So I just deviate from the topic for a few minutes, and I get back into the class with the
Interesting. Excellent. One of the best ways is to get students to out of their dead zone or zombie zone, and then relate. Probably the stories or your brain teasers can be related to the topics that you lecture. And remember that 3 minutes span, okay? That they will get bored. Now, again, you need to know the learning styles, whether they are visuals, students, auditory or kinesthetic. Now, the idea of this one, ladies and gentlemen, it should be in your folder. If it's not, you could just take down the URL over there. Now, this is something that you could do on your own and with your students. You have to be connected with the internet. It's actually a test for you to know who you are. And it's tabulated online. Yeah? You can do it later. We're here today, we're going to do the practical version of this. Alright? This is one very famous index of learning styles by Felder and Silverman. It's been used by all educationists, yeah, and learning theorists in terms of getting to know what you are exactly. Now, for the students to do this in class, it's a short activity, Mr. Ravi.
Yeah.
If your students, let's say, are connected, they all have smartphones, right? Why not? Okay, guys, let's do a little bit of activity. Let's know who you are in my class. Usually, I do this in the first lesson of the semester. When you do ice breaking with the students, right? There's more games rather than straight cut program objectives, assessments, expectations, boring. Yeah. A lot more activities just to get them to be open about themselves. So this is a quick test. And the results are tabulated there and then. They get to know who they are. And then we do the practical version, which we're going to do after this. Very interesting. This is another one. Whether you could test on yourself or the students on the first day. As we go along, ladies and gentlemen, you've noticed from the morning, there's so many tools and methodologies that you've actually gotten on the side. Besides this, you could use this for your students. Mind maps, group work, yeah, a lot of things. In here, I'm sure you have this in your folder. It is an explanation of what visual learners are, auditory people are, and kinesthetic and so forth. Now the VAK questionnaire is the one that I've shown you in the URL. Here. From this website. It's a very short test. Why not introduce it to your students just to get the fun of it? Because they have technology. Alright? Now comes the best part. We've got 1 o'clock as our lunch break. Do you want to start at 2 or 2:30? If we start at 2, if we start at 2, we can try and finish up things by 4:30. Yeah. We can finish up a lot of things by 4, okay. reading reading your body language helps a lot, which is tomorrow after lunch. Reading your students' body language. Now, yes, you can do the games quickly, then we can finish for today. Yeah. So Ariel, you'll do the first part, and I'll do the second part. We've got 1 hour before lunch.
1 hour.
Yes.
Okay, your turn. Be in a pair of two.
Get a partner.
Get a partner. You have to have a partner. It doesn't matter male or male female or whatever. You have to have a partner.
Yeah.
Tahir is alone.
No, Tahir can go with Isaac.
Rival. No.
He always
Sit down.
You only get 5-star ones.
I agree.
Dato' Tahir.
You have your partner.
Yes. Go to your partners.
Go to your partner. You have to sit
Opposite each other.
opposite each other. Yes. Now choose who wants to be A and who wants to be B. Who is A?
Hands up.
Okay, hands up. A, please tell B, you start first. So B will start first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When B start first, all that A needs to do is look into his eyes. Where, in which direction does his or her eyes move? Alright? Okay? Easy? I haven't give you the topic yet. Cool down, baby. Cool down. Okay?
Jangan slow Miss Vanessa.
The topic is
Oh.
Berapa topics?
Eyes, opposite gender.
It doesn't matter. From the eyes down to the heart. As they say. What topic is?
The most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me.
Oh, that's hard. Alright. Okay? Your 30 seconds begin now. The most embarrassing thing that happened to you. A, please look at the eye movement. Look at the eye. Okay. Alright. It is not 30 seconds. It is 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Recall, very embarrassing.
So, A, please tell B which direction does his or her eyes move. The most dominant one. And please remember your eye movement. Done? Alright. Now, done? Oh, okay. Finish. Now, reverse the role. Now, A will start, B will watch. No. Let's see. What do you think about the president of UniKL now? No. Testing.
PM now. What do you think of GS? PM now.
Yes. What do you think of GST? Begin.
Dia tak bayar kan? Cool down. So please tell him or her the movement of the eye. Okay. Now let's reveal who you really are. Are you a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, or audio digital? Now, this is all that you know. Olfactory is smell, and gustatory is taste. Now, let's go one by one. You still remember where your eyes move, right? Yes.
Or visual. Visual people do things more quickly. They speak too fast and they move as fast as you can think. These people, when they give instructions, you will have a lot of pain. Pardon. For them, a picture says 1,000 words because they are very visual. Because they talk fast, their speech rate is fast. Sometimes normal people couldn't catch what they are saying. These people, when they talk, they usually gestures with hands. For example, you might see this a lot, or you might do this a lot. Okay, you go in front, you see the roundabout, you take the knife. nobody can see but you. So why is the hand gesturing while you are giving directions to the phone? Somebody. The words that they are using, can you see that? Look at this. Watch where it's going. See, look, watch. Referring to visual. Eye accessing, whether it's top left or top right. If you are that kind of person, then you are a visual person. Auditory. Auditory is more to hearing. And when they do things in the pace, in the flow. Other people do not understand it, but only auditory people can understand it. That flow for everything. Speech rate, medium. Why? Because not only they want people to understand what they are talking, but they too want to hear what they are talking. So it is medium rate. Physical cues, meet hand gesturing. So for visual, it will be like this. Auditory, not more than level of the head. Auditory. Words, listen, hear, sounds like, referring to hearing. Eye will be moving side to side, left to right or right to left. Kinesthetic. Someone that couldn't stand still. A person that is restless if going to a workshop or whatsoever. They do things more slowly than other people. Why? Because they want to make sure what they do is perfect. Or keeping up to a standard. Deep voice, longer pauses. For example, you have to pause long. Why? Why? My question is why? Because kinesthetic people have to think before doing something. Speech rate is very slow. That's why sometimes visual people and auditory people hated kinesthetic people so much. Finish up, I want to hear the story. Slow down. Slow down. Physical cues, sometimes hand gestures. Usually, hand side. Or words, gripping, feel, all that are related to emotion. Kinesthetic people. Rough, soft, hard, touch. And eye accessing, it will be bottom left. Always bottom left. And last will be audio digital. This kind of people always talk to themselves. Always talk to themselves. If there is a question, they will ask themselves. So sometimes people will perceive them as enter. They talk to themselves a lot just to make themselves to understand what is happening. For example, if you are alone waiting for a bus, you will always say this: why the bus is so late? you are talking to yourself. Why the bus is so late? Why I couldn't get taxi this time? There's nobody at the bus stop except you. But you are still want to talk. So you talk to yourself. Speech rate sometimes slow, sometimes fast. Because this kind of person wants their heart to understand what they think. That's why it is slow. Physical cues, reserve. Depends on the mood. Whether hands going up, going down, hands inside the pocket, up to them. Follow the heart. Words, sensible, understand, calculate, analyze. Mind and heart. Audio digital. Eye assessing, water right. This kind of people will have a lot of sympathy feeling. Malay would say jiwa karat or Mr. Romantic. Betul tak?
Right. So you know yourselves already. Whether we are VAK, audio digital, we adapt to the situations actually. Yeah? All of us have VAKs, AD in us, based on the situation that we are in. Right? Now that's why when you are talking, remember when you're talking about the most embarrassing things, moment, if you kept on looking at, that side, it's all based on your recollection of that. Yeah? And if it's something that is totally new, that's why the lie test by the police, when they do it on the convicts, they look at the visuals and it's always that side. Everything is lying because they are constructing. Audio digital people are those students of ours who are very quiet in class. And you know what? Research shows that all our students have a same level of visual and AD. AD is getting higher. What is the cause of that? Facebook. They don't go out of class of their smartphones and socialize anymore. They socialize using Facebook. So it's a battle between them and the screen. Nobody is telling them what to do, they're not talking. So they're just judging people based on Facebook status. Like it or not, we've got to break this from our kids. Our kids are getting more this because of the smartphones, because of our iPads. They become less of the social person that they are. And visual as well as auditory. So what we have to do is we've got to mesh it together. Alright, last activity before we go for lunch. I would like you to do this activity in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, equal. Can you get in a group of threes? Quickly. Now this is NLP for lecturers. Okay? You've got to, when you have this ability, you're able to read your students. I think 1, 2, 3 over here, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Could you stand up, please? I like a threesome to just help me out in front here, so you can observe. Yeah. And yes. Yourself, 3 of you, come here. Right. Now, this is another way of knowing whether you are an auditory person or a kinesthetic. Who would like to be the one in front?
I like that spirit. I like that spirit.
Okay, now she's going to stand here. She's not going to be able to see who's behind. Alright? So first we're going to do the kinesthetic exercise, whether you're a kinesthetic person, right? Now, the one at the back, right? Point a finger and just press at her shoulder. Okay? Padma. Then you just say Padma. Hari. The same spot. Same spot here. Here. Hari. You say your name.
Hari.
Okay? And then Padma. Do it again. Padma.
Hari.
3 times only. Okay? And then you start again for 5 rounds, but don't speak your name. Alright? So what she will need to do is guess by the touch, the feeling of that sensation. And she's got to say out the name. Okay. Let's say, who is that? Right. Do you get me?
Yes.
Right. 5 times. If you can guess it right for 5 rounds, then you're very good kinesthetically. Okay? And take turns doing that quickly. Alright? Alright. Go on. Start. You can stay here. Rotate. Over there, sir.
Jangan tak ada pet sana.
You touch at the same place.
Aku rasa no lah. Gimana?
Dia rasa no, apa banyak kaki. Tuan panggil banyak tak? Dia rasa apa?
Ambil tahu ke
Jadi tak cinta. Biasanya
buat.
saya lah. Sampai tak Nora.
Saya boleh differentiate. Dia boleh differentiate. Kamu tak boleh.
Nipu dia pakat. Alright, we're going on to the next test. finish it. Finish it.
Okay.
You see? You know what is doing it?
Aziza.
Sure.
Aziza.
What's the score?
Sure.
That means why they have the thing, why saying Isha is giving long press, why this thing is giving light touch like that, what are you doing? He is very long press, office is touching like this, Isha is doing strong while asking you are touching very lightly.
The next test is auditory, okay? After this, we relate why you were not able to get 5 out of 5 tries. Okay, now auditory, yeah. So Padma, you clap. Padma, Hari. Okay. So you do it 3 times. Now you can manipulate because the catch is that you've got to be middle. Yeah? Yeah? You can't go this side or this side because then you must be centered. Alright? Okay? Try it for 3 times with the names and 5 times without the names and guess.
Oh, very good. Auditori, memang orang auditori.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the activities that is done in NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. It's to know whether you're auditory or kinesthetic. Yeah, it's a valid test to know whether you are you have those traits. Yeah, what does that mean if you didn't get 5 out of 5? What does it mean if you don't get 5 out of 5?
Some people are doing manipulation.
That's right. That's right. Manipulation is there all the time. In meetings, for instance, in a meeting, right? You have meetings regularly with your dean and all that. Okay. You see this kind of personalities come out. Yeah. Visual people will, kinesthetic people will always use their hands, and auditory they will listen more. What does it mean if you don't get 5 out of 5?
Not at all.
Normal, is it? You're right. We haven't been using all our senses that God has given us. Do you know that? We've taken them for granted. Yeah? The best thing is about visuals. Yeah? How, I've shared this with you, how often do we compliment our friends? Yeah? Or compliment whoever who has given us something. Anything. Compliments. Auditory and kinesthetic. We only want to listen to what we want to listen, right? We don't want to listen to what we don't want to listen. And that's why change that the president wants in everybody comes down difficult for some. For some, it's easy. Yeah? For anybody, in terms of kinesthetic, yeah, we want more, what do you call this, touch and feel of that thing. Right? And for your students as well, whether they are VAK, you've got to satisfy their thirst for those things. You've seen, ladies and gentlemen, for the past how many hours when we begin, there's a lot of videos shown. Less words on the board, on the slides. A lot of songs. All this are methodologies for teaching and learning to take place. Anchoring. So sometimes certain songs are used. Certain songs that are used, for instance, you want the students to do an activity that requires them to be the best. You put up a song by Rocky Balboa, Eye of the Tiger. Who remembers that? What's this? Rocky, the movie Rocky. So it anchors, the song anchors that, and they remember the message was, students, keep to your faith, do your best. Anchoring is another NLP method. So later on we'll look into that. What it means is that we have been taking for granted our senses. Yeah? So from now on, start noticing, listening, yeah? All those things. Do we have time for fetching and hearing? Or do you want to have a break? Are you done for today? For now? You want to have a break now? Maybe we could. Yeah, we could take it after lunch. Okay? Alright, thank you for being a great participants. Give yourself a round of applause. 5 after lunch. What time do you want to come back? If you want to come back, you want to go home at 4, we really have to start at 2. Yeah? Okay. Is it alright? Great. Thank you.